Hello fellow fish nerds and happy Fry Friday. What you're seeing behind me is one of my favorite parts of going to Disney last week. My one favorite part obviously was watching how much my kids enjoyed it. I also enjoy, like I said in my Water Change Wednesday video about aquaponics, how much I do like the Living with the Land ride exhibit at Epcot. I did enjoy the Flower and International Plant Show at Epcot as well. But the other thing I enjoyed was the opportunities I saw at Animal Kingdom and Epcot especially. Yeah, definitely those two places to get green screen footage background like what you're seeing behind me. This is one of many new green screen backgrounds that I was very excited to get because I've learned from watching my videos and learning from my mistakes that I need to focus on having green screen backgrounds that are more still so they don't make you dizzy. And obviously they are, on content, which we all enjoy looking at fish. So that was what I was trying to go for. Honestly, that list I just listed, only things I enjoyed about Disney. Number one, obviously, my kids. Number two, the Living with the Land exhibit. And three, the green screen footage. So you've now seen basically all that I enjoy about Disney. Like I said, that's for a later video, later rant, maybe a live stream. Anyways, today's video is I honestly struggled with what to make today's video about. Some students earlier in the morning on Thursday were asking me, hey, when's your next video coming out? And I said, well, I actually had a video come out yesterday on Wednesday, but I'll have a new one come out tomorrow on Friday, but I have no idea what I'm going to make the content about. So, it was in the back of my mind all day as I was walking down to the pond with my science students, and was going to go collect some Daphnia, actually. That was my one of the things I was looking forward to doing with them. I was also obviously teaching them about bentho macroinvertebrates and how to use them to determine the health of a watershed or a natural body of water. And one of the bentho macroinvertebrates that I was looking for was Daphnia magna, and scuds, also known as amphipods. Didn't find any scuds or amphipods on this trip, but maybe later. Did find a few Daphnia, but that's for a later video possibly. Anyways, so they were asking about that, and honestly, I don't know what I'm going to make the Friday video about. Then after school on Thursday, it finally hit me, hey, I do have some fish that I have not made a video about, so that's what today's video is about. It is a reveal of two different types of fish, way different types of fish, that I've not made a video about. One type I actually I have shown them in a previous video. It was in a they were in my video about convection and conduction and the heating of the atmosphere. That was one of my science videos that I posted. I think it was actually on a Friday. I don't know, it was during my February fish vlogs. And so they were actually in that video. I didn't talk a lot about them, didn't tell about their story, about how I got them, and why I was excited to get them. And then the second, they are actually fry. There's actually juvenile at this point, I guess. But really excited about these. I don't think I've made a video about them, but a few people know about them. Chris from Multitech Addiction has mentioned them in my live streams, even though I was like, shh, don't tell people. I haven't announced it yet. So I'm now announcing officially. So Chris, if you're watching this, you can now talk about it openly. I've had them for a while now. People I know in real life, in person, they know about them. They don't get as excited as my fellow fish nerd friends. Like I've shown my students, I've shown my coworkers that come into my classroom and they're asking me about my fish. I'm like, hey, I'm really excited to have these. I've wanted these forever, literally for a really long time. And so anyways, I'm gonna reveal them tonight. I'm not gonna do a lot of build up like, hey, stay tuned next week for my newest fish reveal. So I will talk about them towards the end of this video and tell you the story about them and how I got them and what made them possible. Yeah, that's it. Today's video is also going to feature actually two smaller fish fam channels. One which inspired me to get the first type of fish I'm going to feature, and the second one is the a person in the channel that actually made it possible for me to get the second type of fish. So be sure to stay tuned to the end where I talk about those two channels, and I'll post links to those two channels in the card, also in the comments down below. So without any further ado or rambling, I'll see you on the other side of the intro.
It's Mr. Science Geek. I hope my tanks don't leak. If it's information that you seek, and my videos take a peek, be sure to tune in each week. My singing and my jokes really reek. Here we have the first new fish reveal of today's video, though they were originally seen in my Heating of the Atmosphere science video, but they weren't really featured. I didn't talk about them. The background story behind it. When I first found the Fish Fam on YouTube two years ago, last month actually in March, one of the first people I interacted with was Chaz from Chaz's Fish Room, and he had jewel cichlids, and I thought they were really cool, and he got them to breed a lot, and they're really cool looking. I didn't find them in my local fish stores very often. I finally found them at a local fish store that I had never been to before, and even since I've only been to, I think, one other time. So I found them there one time, and that's really it. So the story of how I got these was I went to my local fish club meeting, and here I'm sticking my finger to show you how they are not afraid of anything. They're actually very curious and very aggressive. Honestly, they're jerks. Anyways, I went to a local fish club meeting, and the um, uh, one of the other members, the one actually who owns the building that we meet in, he was like, "Hey, Rick, come back and check out my fish tanks." So of course, I go back and look at the fish tanks. And in one of the tanks, this guy is like has amazing collection of cichlids. And in one of the tanks, he had these jewel cichlid fry. I mean, they were maybe a quarter of an inch long. He was like, "Here, you want them? I'm like, how much do you want from them?" He was like, "Free. Just take them, please. They are just honestly, they are jerks." And he's got them for free from somebody, and he was giving them for free, honestly, to just give himself some more tank space. So, of course, I took them and brought them to my classroom, raised them up, and they are about maybe inch and a half, 2 inches long at this point. Eat like crazy. Eat everything I put in there. Flake, pellet, uh, repast that I try to give to the bristlenose plecos. Green beans. I mean, they eat everything, and I heard they get worse as they breed. So honestly, I am going to try to find them a new home. I'm going to try to see if I can sell them to a local fish store for store credit first. Then, if that doesn't work, I will probably try to sell them at the local fish club auction. But honestly, I just really want to get rid of them before they get too big, because this is not a large enough tank for them when they are fully grown, and I have had the enjoyment of raising them and keeping them, and they are, they're really pretty, but I'm just not really this kind of a cichlid guy. I'd rather use this tank space for guppies or maybe some other fish that I might be revealing later on in future videos. So, anyways, now on to the next mystery fish reveal. And here we have today's second mystery fish reveal. You see them swimming around in the background. If my jewel cichlids are the most outgoing, aggressive, curious fish that I have, these are probably my most timid, scared, shy fish that I have. You see them lurking in the background. Can't really tell what they are at this point. They're still juveniles. They're super slow growing, uh, but they are a fish that I have wanted for I know at least 10 years or so. Yeah, at least 10 years. Actually, 15 years, definitely. Those that know me that have been watching the videos on my channel, there's one coming out as I'm putting some food in there to try to entice them to come out. There's a second one. Those that have been watching my channel for a while know that this fish is the juvenile. These are juveniles of the Xiphosaurus. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Montezuma, or the Montezuma swordtail. My favorite swordtail. One of my favorite fish. Definitely my top five. One of my top five favorite fish. I got these actually from Greg Sage. He shipped them to me in a very, very large styrofoam box. It was made possible thanks to a PayPal.me donation from Rob Hicks from Rob Hicks Aquariums. Post a link to his channel in the top right corner right now. And he sent me a very nice donation that made it possible for me to get these fish. So then I was able to order these fish from Greg Sage and finally get one of my favorite fish ever. So, Rob, thank you once again. One of the nicest people I know. Definitely continues the stereotype that Canadians are some of the nicest people in the world. And trying to get a better view of them here. Like I said, they're very, very timid. I'm really hoping that I have at least one male in here. Hopefully, it's a nice mixture of males and females so that I can get them to breed. At this point, they're all looking like females, but Greg Sage says that he breeds his Montezuma swordtails especially to, and there's a super red Bristlenose pleco kind of stealing the shot right here. Anyways, Greg Sage breeds his Montezuma swordtails to be slower maturing males. So I think I just have to be patient and wait for the males to appear. Anyway, stay tuned for more videos of other fish strains and other fish species that I will be revealing on future videos. Until that time, stay tuned and stay fishy, people.